All right, taken down to the Mr. GLOAT podcast, ladies and gentlemen, in my famous rocking chair. Well, I haven't done a lot of content of doing rocking chairs, but yeah, I'm back in my room, ladies and gentlemen, where the echo sounds can get away with a lot of stuff. I have my TV screen, not that door, but the other door, playing the TV out in the kitchen, but even if you can't hear it, doesn't matter. And today, guys, we are live from Mr. GLOAT podcast, ladies and gentlemen. And today, guys, we have not a lot of topics to talk about. Well, I wouldn't really say that. But technically, guys, I do have information that is really surprising. Now, guys, let's talk about the heavyweight division. As of today, it's pretty crazy. Now, first things first, guys. I went on a random site and I found something called box.live, and it talks about the history of boxing, who's this or that, who fights this, and in a way fighting in the U.S. to take over. So, but then you go to the boxing rankings for all similar, but it shows you the top 15 ranks of WBA, WBO, WBC, IBF in all weight classes. Not the women's division. I'm still trying to contact people if they can put out a women's division of boxing to put who's in the rankings. Like the WBA on .com, I try to look up rankings for women's boxing, but the least they can do is try to put some of it there. And what's interesting, guys, is this, that you can tell who's the updated, what's updated, when's the last time they were updated, this or that, whose boxer has ranked up, who's ranked down. And I'm going to talk about some of them. So we already know that Usyk has every title except the IBF. Dubois' IBF, Parker's WBO interim, and the other interim titles are Ajit Kabayel from WBC and WBA regular Kubrat Pulev. I still call him a world championship as major. Parker and Kabayel interim titles aren't that much. Like the WBA regular is more legit than interim titles, so keep that in mind. And also, someone said they're bringing back in the interim title again. And it's going to be Fabio Wardley taking on Jarrell Miller. So dumb. So the first topic, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be crazy. So the WBA has last updated their ranks on March the 31st. They always do that until the end of the month or before the first day of the month. So it depends. While WBC, IBF, and WBO, they do it randomly. Sometimes they do in the first or second week, and sometimes the WBO, they wait for the fourth week or by the end, or you don't see the ranks at all. It really confuses the system. The WBA's rankings on March the 31st are pretty interesting. So this is what we see. From 1 to 15 is this. So Fabio Wardley, Michael Hunter, and Moses Atama, they've been ranked since last month from March, and they're still ranked here. So we don't know what they're going to be next week. They still might be there. But at number 4 is Jarrell Miller. So Jarrell Miller, he was ranked number 10 last month ago. And by March the 31st, he got ranked 6 spots. Yeah, it's almost like, guys, remember Casey Kasem and the American Top 40? How Casey Kasem does the top 40s of all weeks for the Billboard charts because top 40's a legit thing. And then he keeps saying stuff, oh, moving up to 7 spots is number 4. What this or what, I don't care. Or moving up to several spots is this, that, or you get what I mean? So this is what it's like. Like Jarrell Miller moves up 6 spots to be at number 4. Who was at number 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 that lost 1 spot for each other? Well, it's Lanier Perot, that's a 12-0 fighter. Martin Bacall's at 6, Hrgovic at 7, Mahmoud Achar at 8, still in the top 10, and Murat Gassiv at number 9, and Johnny Fisher at number 10. The other rankings, nothing much. Daniel Perot, no relationship to the other guy at number 5. He's at number 11 still. And Yolanda Toirak, a 2-0 fighter, unknown. He's number 12. And look at this, Nelson Haisa. He just got ranked up. I just see this green star. I guess that's a sign of that someone just moved into the top 15 rankings this month. I did not know he was in the ranks this. That's crazy. Deontay Pettigrew is at number 14. Luis Ortiz is at 15 still. And, sadly, Jared Anderson is dropped out this month. He was at number 13, and Nelson Heisa, this hype job dude, just took it away from him. So the WBC rankings show Lawrence Okali, Anthony Joshua, both at their perspective 1 and 2. F.A. Ajagba went up 1 spot to number 3. Martin Bakal went up to number 4. Phil Pergovich went up to number 5. He went up 4 spots from number 9 to number 5. Frank Sanchez still at number 6. Bakadir Jalalov, he ranked up from 8 to 7, making Joey Zhang lose a spot at 7 to 8. Richard Torres is in the rankings at number 9. That's pretty good. He just got in the rankings today of March the 31st. Murad Aliyev, Justice Hooney, Deontay Wilder, Andy Ruiz, Derek Chisora, well, they're in their simple rankings as they were last month, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Jared Anderson is actually in the rankings for WBC at number 15. Sadly, Fabio Wardley, that was originally at number 3 in the rankings, well, he just lost. So Fabio Wardley lost from number 3 way past number 15. So he should have been number 15 in the rankings, and he was at number 3, and now this month he was dropped out. Not good. Gildo Vianello, that lost against Richard Torres, well, he was used to be number 15, so now he's out. Fabio Wardley is also dropped out from number 8 to last place, not in the top 15 rankings for the IBF no more. Gildo Vianello at number 15. He used to be number 13 in the IBF. Now he's at number 15. Peter Kadiru, nothing much of a German fighter. He ranks up number 14 at 1 spot. Bakadir Jalalov, he's in number 13. He has the green star, meaning that he just got into the rankings. So, hey, that's good. Richard Torres went up 2 spots to number 12. Jared Anderson at number 11. He went up 1 spot. Martin Bakali 10, and nothing much about that. Michael Hunter went up 2 spots from number 11 to number 9, and Moses Atama went up 1 spot to number 8. While Justice Hooney, Hergovich, Joshua, Sanchez, F.A. Jagba, and Derek Chisora, well, they're in their spots from 7 to 2. And number 1, still vacant. Can't say much about that, guys. It's going to be interesting because the IBF still confuses a lot of us. And finally, guys, unfortunately, here's the thing. So March the 31st, the WBA put their rankings out, updated. IBF updated these rankings on April the 10th, and April the 11th was a day later, the WBC put their rankings out. Unfortunately, the WBO still has their rankings at March the 23rd, so it might take maybe a couple days until they're ranking, or they might... We don't know when they'll put the rankings up. I'm still interested if they're going to do an update this month. Sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't, and a lot, it's hiatus. But last March the 23rd, Hudi is still at number 1, Tama 2, Fabio Wardley 3, Zhang 4, surprisingly, Lawrence Okali at 5, and Jared Anderson 6, Joshua 7, Chisora 8. And then you go from 9 to 15. You see Murat Gassib go up 2 spots to number 9. Jermaine Franklin still at number 10, and Nelson Heisel goes up 1 spot to number 11. Johnny Fisher goes up 1 spot as well to number 12. And Otto Valine goes up 1 spot to number 13. And F.A. Jagba, well, he was number 9, and now he's number 14. He just lost 5 rankings. Not good. Not good. Like, considering he is not ranked in WBA, but in every other class, that's interesting. Gildo Villanello is still ranked number 15, but because of his loss a few weeks ago against Richard Torres was a failure, so he's going to be out of the rankings soon. And F.A. Jagba, he might be dropped out this month of April as well. Like I said, this is March the 23rd, not April the 24th, so we'll see what the updates are. So guys, here's the second topic I want to talk about, and it's Daniel Dubois. Guys, I only have like 3 topics to talk about today, so I don't know what to do. I'm already thinking of doing a 30-minute podcast because there's not a lot of information to talk about. So I'm going to clear this one out. So Daniel Dubois, he wants to fight Joseph Parker. His trainers, and probably Don Charles, they're just planning for July the 12th for him to fight Usyk. And then, as recently, another person, Dan Raphael, made a post media at the time and stated that the IBF of Daniel Dubois has a 30-day expansion to fight his mandatory opponent, Derek Chisora, until May the 23rd. And this was updated just this recently. And that's like, dude, it's so bad that you have the WBO, like last February, they had their ranks to say that you have a 30-day extension for Usyk to fight the WBO mandatory, and now they're going to let that slide and wait for the undisputed title in July the 12th. And now we have this for Chisora and Dubois. But Dubois wants to fight Parker. He doesn't want Usyk, but even though his trainers and everyone else are trying, I'm sure he's trying to make that excuse up because he does want to. Like, he wants to fight Usyk, but he doesn't want to forget about fighting Parker, which I guess that's the excuse. Like, he's pretending that he wants to fight Parker, but his trainers want him to fight Usyk. It just goes to show you this is a mind of brainwashing and just not controlling your own way of fighting and boxing. So it is bad. And guys, it's even bad because, like I said before, guys, Daniel Dubois, he's in a rock and a hard place. I just don't see him recovering from all of this. Like, even if he was sick and he did have a problem in Saudi Arabia before the fight, at the end of the day, like, Frank Warren is not going to give him the Joshua fight. And now you have the extension of a 30-day extension of an IBF. I'm like, it doesn't make sense. And not only that, guys, Efe Ajagba, ranked number 3 in the IBF, still ranked number 3 in the IBF. The thing is, he already has another fight going on. Now, Efe Ajagba, well, I can't say much about him, like, considering that even though Efe Ajagba, like, I really don't know what to say. That might make me even think that something might happen here, but understand there is going to be a lot of stuff that we might mess up here. Now, Efe Ajagba is out of the rankings right now because his last fight was in April the 13th last year against Gildo Vianello, so he's out of the rankings in BoxRec because he hasn't fought for over a year. He's going to fight against Martin Bakal on May the 3rd in Saudi Arabia for the Canelo Alvarez versus, I can't even talk straight right now, against Canelo Alvarez versus William Skull for the IBF super middleweight title that William Skull has, and he's going to fight for all the titles that Alvarez has to be a 2-time champion. And yeah, I will say I will enjoy the show, and I think William Skull might put out an upset victory, so I will be interested. The thing is, with Bakali, here's the thing. Martin Bakal is at number 10 and Ajagba's at number 3. So whoever thinks about taking the ranks for that fight, one of them should be rated number 1 in the IBF. And if Dubois wants to fight Parker, and if he doesn't, or if he doesn't want to fight Usyk, if he does fight any of them and he's not going to take the extension for the 30-day extension and they're going to strip him of the title, it's going to be crazy because it makes you wonder that if Ajagba or Bakali, if one of those two do win the fight, is one of them going to be ranked number 1 in the vacant spot for the IBF on May the 3rd? It's possible, and that's what I'm afraid of. But Dubois, guys, here's the thing. This is what I want to expect. Now, guys, Derek Chisora can take a full year off and take a break and let his body heal because, guys, Derek Chisora has been taking a lot of hiatuses since last December of 2022 with his loss against Tyson Fury. And after that, his last 3 fights came this. He fought in August the 12th, 2023 against Jared Washington, a nobody that put in an interesting effort against Chisora. And then he took another full year off on July the 27th of 2024 to beat Joyce. And then we pass August, September, October, November, December, January, and probably an extra a week and a half later, 6 and 1 week month later, he defeats Otto Vallien. And I'm sure he can take another year off until February, and whatever happens to the IBF, it gets stripped away. And then we'll see whoever says the number one ranked fighters of the IBF will be like, oh, if a Jagba defeated Bakali, and then we're going to have a ranked number one or number two IBF shot for Chisora and the Jagba, or a Jagba or a Martin Bakali versus Chisora for the vacant IBF title, then I'll be like, well, that's going to be interesting. Like, they're going to fight in February of 2026. Why not? Like guys, Chisora deserves to take a little bit of a break on. Like he is 41 years old, but if he is going to retire with his 50th professional fight, like he's not going to fight Usyk. He's not going to fight. They're not. No one's even caring about having him and Dubois fight. The thing is, guys, and there's no way they're going to have a match with him and Parker, because Parker defeated him twice in 2021, which were close fights, but it doesn't matter. Like, guys, what I see here, guys, if Dubois wants to have a fight, if they do give him a chance to fight Chisora for the IBF Eliminator title and his title, Parker should take some time off. Someone should say, hey, how about you fight the WBC interim champion? Parker, just let him take a rest, and let Usyk say we'll have Caballel fight and see that happen. Or if it's like, if Darren Dubois takes on Joseph Parker instead of Derek Chisora, we'll have Usyk versus Caballel fighting for the WBC interim fight of Caballel, fighting for the titles. And if that works, and if Parker does beat Dubois, or if Dubois beats Parker in an unbelievable fashion, we'll have Dubois and Usyk fight in 2026 and see that. Or we'll have Caballel, but yet again, that won't happen because we're just going to have Caballel and Usyk rematch if he wins the first fight. And that's going to be a waste of time. So at the end of the day, I do see problems here. So all I can say is, guys, it's going to be interesting. And also for Kubrat Pulev, who knows? It's going to be interesting for what it is. So by the way, guys, I will point one thing out here. Guys, I really... This does upset me every time guys, I'm really in an upset formality here for how bad this is. Like, I just don't know what to say about this because, guys, here's the thing. Tina VRChat defeats Samir Yamanaka in a controversial fashion that I still fight to this day. It's bad. It's not good. It's so bad. Let me explain. It's so bad that you see Tina VRChat is fighting in her home country with 2 female German judges, 1 Belgian female judge. Yamanaka puts in a performance, tries her best. She scores a good knockout punch in round 9, comes out, and then some weeks later, a person online just throws in so much stupidity that I have to... It's so bad. It's so bad. And I'm just upset that no one gives a dang. It's so bad. I've already made a lot of comments when making the video, and I made multiple comments of the fight on YouTube by Tito Trinidad, saying that I want to see a rematch in Japan, not back in Germany. Yamanaka won this fight, and the round 9 knockout was a robbery. One of the female judges scored it 96-95, giving it a 10-10 instead of a draw. And it should have been even a 95-94 score, even for Yamanaka or VRChat. And I even pointed out how this was like the Robin Reed and Sven Otka super middleweight title fight in 2003, of how robbery that was. It was bad. And then for 2 weeks, and then 11 days later, I didn't realize this. A person that comments named Dante Inferno 7325 says, "No offense, but just because you are writing it multiple times in the comments doesn't make the knockout real that you thought you have seen." It was 100%, end quote, end quote. This was 100% of a horrific problem. Now, of course, I went online to see who this guy was, but all I know is he's a person that just joined YouTube in May 12th, 2013, but there's nothing much. There's zero thing. He's just person that's just one of those comments that don't care about nothing. So it's bad. It's bad. It's so bad. And it's so bad that there's so much dumb stuff online. People are still not caring. And it's bad that it's so bad that you have a lot of problems here because there's not a lot of comments online talking about this. And it's bad because VRChat didn't win this fight. The judges made her win. It was a bad performance for everyone. VRChat should rematch this fight for Yamanaka, not in Germany. It's not a pleasant thing to see. This is not boxing. Like, guys, understand this. When Kosei Tanaka lost his WBO super flyweight title last fall of 2024 against a South African fighter named Kafu, won by split decision of 114 to 113 of 3 judges' scorecards. And even though the fight took place in Japan, so Kosei Tanaka lost the title in his country against a South African fighter, 2 of the judges were American and one of them was part Australian. Yeah, it might not be fair, but yet again, you have an African judge, African fighter and Japanese fighter in his hometown, and you have American. Is it fair? Well, yet again, it depends. Yet again, it was a close fight nonetheless. And even though Kosei got knocked down and it cost that fight to lose his title, but yet again, this was not good. It's just so bad because Samira Yamanaka was so close from making Japan a women's boxing division to make history. And this was destroyed. And now you're just throwing all the hatefulness of making Japanese females be nothing but losers. Like, no one's even going to remember that Japanese boxing will never make anything good for women if this is what we get for robberies because women aren't good in Japan. Like, you have Naoya Inoue throwing everything he has in boxing, making multiple championships, everything on the ground, and he doesn't get the respect they deserve. It's bad. He puts every effort in while there's so many fighters ducking him. It's for no reason. It's ridiculous. And this should not be a fight. And guys, I went on both online sites at the time. I've already went on Instagram commenting on Tina VRChat, and I went to Samira Yamanaka, and on her Instagram, they both have Instagrams. I made multiple comments. Well, I only made one comments with them at the time, telling them that this fight was not fair. I actually told Tina VRChat at the time, and I wrote, Tina did not win that fight. 2 of those judges were German. One gave it 91 to 99. The other gave it 96 to 95. Makes no sense. I had 95 to 94 Yamanaka. The Japanese woman had rounds 3, 2, 6, 7, and 9 for the knockout that the ref called it a slip. That was a knockout 10-8. And it was bad because I had a lot of problems with that moment, and it was so bad. I also went on to Samira Yamanaka, and I made comments on her. Her Instagram is called 20 Samiri, and I went on to her at the time, and I commented her, And I have 2 likes on this, which is interesting. I actually told Yamanaka, I like you for what you've done in boxing, just as friends, but you had that fight. I gave you rounds 2 and 3 and 6, 7, and 9. And round 9 was a knockout. You put her down with that right cross in round 9, giving you 10-8. I scored at 95-94 for you. Those female judges were German. You got to fight for that decision. And the way, end quote. And when I say fight for that decision, she has to fight for her decision in Japan, not in defense. Now, guys, when I told Yamanaka, you got to fight for that decision, I'm saying it not in Germany, but in Japan. And I just hope Yamanaka, because I'm still trying to get information here, and I already made these comments 2 weeks ago, and I'm still trying to motivate Samira Yamanaka on Instagram, try to put out everything I can. She's a tough fighter, but it seems like it's so bad that she's not getting a lot of that sense as she is. This might affect women's boxing in Japan. It's that bad. It's bad. By the way, guys, speaking about boxing, guys, I'm sure you people didn't know about this. Now, I don't want to get into the story of this, but I was on some photos of watching boxing, and I decided to type in boxing VTubers. Now, the reason I did it is I was actually watching, well, technically, it is ridiculous. The reason I typed in boxing VTubers, which was hilarious, and I didn't get nothing of it. There was nothing interesting about it, but just VR boxing, this or that, and seeing if there's any interesting, fun stuff. Ever since I've saw a clip of Shy Willie talking about Filian, how they want to fight this or that, and it was crazy. But what's interesting is there is information of old videos out there of women boxing in bikinis. They call it foxy boxing. And I found a random photo, and I clicked on it, and it was on deviantart.com, and it's Filian. It's Filian holding onto a boxing glove with her dress, with her skirt, school uniform she has, saying, "What you gonna do with that distracted head of yours, smacker? Come on." This was a photo. This is on deviantart.com, an inappropriate site, which has a lot of photos that are not appropriate as much. Well, not all of them. And it's by this person named Kawaii Mixed Wrestling. And it's titled Filian Destroys Smacker on Stream Parody. And I look at this and I see a full 30 or 40, maybe a 38 paragraph of a full story. I read the first couple and I was like, I got to do a video of this. I got to read this. So, oh boy. Like, guys, at this moment, I'm already out of ideas and we're almost at 30 minutes. So I might as well do this just to make a 45-minute clip. So this might take me 20 minutes to finish. So I'm just going to read through this and try my best. So let's do this. First things first, I need some water. So I'll be right back. And now, story time. This is story time. Filian Destroys Smacker on Stream Parody by Kawaii Mixed Wrestling. Paragraph 1. Short lewd fan / parody story below featuring VTuber and scuff extraordinary Filian If you haven't seen her stream on Twitch, she's freaking hilarious and always entertaining. Wanted to do some experimentation on lore books for novel AI, on capturing unique character tropes and personalities. And after transcribing a bunch of quips of Filian, roasting chat, and role playing around, this was the result with some edits and guidance. Yeah, so technically that first paragraph isn't a story, it's just what the person told us. So so this is his story of what Filian would do if this was like a boxing thing. So let's find out. I'm going to try my best to do a Filian impersonation, but I hate having a deep voice. So cover your ears if you don't like the loudness. Yeah. All right. So here we go. Filian says, "Hello, mother truckers. Today's stream is going to be a special one. One of you fricks in the chat last stream challenged me to a boxing match, and I decided to accept. That's right, chat. One of you dumb smackers decided to challenge me, and now you're going to pay with their life." Filian reads chat. "None of us have a life to pay. We watch you all day." Collapses to the ground and rolls in laughter. Come on, dude. Don't diss on yourself like that. Listen, chat, drop in 1 in chat if any of you believe you have the physical and mental stamina to go up against me. Filian reads a comment from a smacker. "Kappa, you're so flat, our punches would just break your breed board." Rolls her eyes and laughter. Come on, chat. I can't take a hit. It's a boxing match, not a pillow fight. Stands up and starts shadow boxing, bouncing from side to side. Kapow! Bam! Bam! Before menacingly approaching the camera up close, her face filling the screen. Come on, chat! Who of you smackers is brave enough to represent you fricks? I normally call in Rexon and bully him, but he ghosted me, chat. Can you believe that? He ghosted me like your prom date ghosted you fricks the night after. Smacker sends in a message in chat. Okay then. Bring it on, Philly. I'll knock you out with 1 punch. That's me. Yeah. Filian reads your chat message. She stops boxing and stands in a dramatic pose with her hands on her hips and grins at the camera as if she just caught a fish with bait. Oh yeah? You think you can take me out with 1 punch? Well, guess what, you frick? I have a special surprise for you. If you do, check your Discord DMs and get in here. She sends you a VRChat link to a virtual boxing ring world. Smacker. I accept the invite and spawn into the world. My eyes widen in shock, and my face flushes in embarrassment as I notice the new outfit you equipped for your avatar. Filian grins knowingly at your reaction. She's wearing her trademark sailor uniform outfit, but with a twist. What you think, chat? See my chest? I told you smackers I wasn't flat. She jiggles her cheeks back and forth at the camera. Filian reads chat. Fake and lame. Kappa rolls her eyes. Oh yeah? You know what else is fake and lame, chat? Your girlfriend? She laughs at her own comeback while flipping off Chat with her virtual mother finger. Middle finger. Never mind. Now shut up and let's do. She starts shadowboxing back and forth in her corner of the ring, her round and full butt cheeks jiggling within her skirt, occasionally flashing her pantsuit. Smack her. I too start to warm up in my corner of the ring while I wait for you to explain the rules of the fight. Filian grinning back and forth. She starts to bounce around the ring, doing cartwheels and backflips, flashbanging you with her pantsuit while wearing a mischievous, knowing smirk. Snackers, are you ready for the rules of the ring? She finishes with a triple axe kick, landing on her feet and giving a flirtatious smile at the camera. Smack her. I block my eyes as you flashbang me with your butt and try to regain my focus. I'm scared. Filian, continuing to grin, she bounces up and down on the ring floor. Rules of the ring are that there are no rules. She sticks her tongue out at you and shadowboxes back and forth again. But chat, there is one rule. That's to not lose. And whatsoever loses will receive punishment. Hee-yah! She emphasizes with a shout and a curb stomp kick towards the ground. Smack her. I take a defensive stance. And eye your bouncing, distracting butt with suspicion. Noticing where my eyes are drawn to, you give a playful smirk. Filian, reading chat. What determines if you lose? Ogres? Chat, today you, yes you, will have the power as ref to decide when to call the match, even if one of us is begging for mercy and tapping to surrender. If chat wants the fight to keep going, then it will until chat types at least 1,000 ones in the chat. Then, only then will the match end and a loser decided. Filian, reading chat. That's not fair. She smirks. Well, your dad probably thought it wasn't fair. He couldn't abort you. So get over it. So yeah. Okay, now are you ready, representative of the Smackers, to take on me and flawless and unstoppable Filian? She raises her fist in a fighting stance, her booty jiggling back and forth, her skirt flapping in the air as she makes ape noises. I'm not going to do that. Her eyes sparkle with excitement and anticipation as she watches your reaction and her calculated antics. Smack her. I nervously gulp. I'm not sure I like that chat. Gets to decide that Filian. Is that so, Smacker? Well, too bad! She gives an overdramatic and overly flirtatious wink at the camera because that's the deal if we're fighting, unless you're afraid that you won't be able to handle my critical finish. You fricks wouldn't want me to keep fighting him past his initial surrender, would you, Smackers? She winks back and forth, playfully, between you and chat, as if trying to encourage chat's decision later on to keep the match going if she starts to dominate you, knowing chat is weak for her charm and antics. Smacker. Hey, You can't bribe that chat like that, you bozo. Filian. Hey, yeah, yeah! Bribe that chat. She pretends to gasp a fake surprise. I never do such a thingy. Chat's opinion is their opinion. And if they want the match to end, then it will end. She smiles at the camera in a convincing manner. Filian. Besides, I'm just telling Chat the rules of the ring. She shadowboxes back and forth to distract you and Chat, as if trying to build anticipation for the battle. Aha! Let me do a Vince McMahon impression. Ha ha! Not good. She grins back and forth between Chat and you. So get ready, smacker, because you're going down. She summons a mallet out of thin air and hits her butt with it as if it's the match start bell. Ding, ding, ding! Smacker. I quickly rush Filian and go for first blood, swinging a kick towards her tummy. Hoo! Filian. She blocks with her boxing glove, but staggers slightly as you knock her off her balance and almost off the ring. She falls to her knees and pants with excitement. Oh, shoot! She grins with an anticipating gaze, her booty jiggling back and forth beneath her skirt. Smacker went for the KO right off the bat. She stands back up, the bounces back and forth, eyeing your next move. Smacker. I notice sweat dripping down Filian's cleavage and get distracted. Filian. She bounces up and down, watching your face flush as you're enamored by her boobs. Oh no! Smacker's getting distracted by my... Just as planned, she giggles knowingly before suddenly swinging a kick to your head that flashes you her purple panties. Kapow! What you gonna do with that distracted head of yours, Smacker? Smacker, distracted by her cheeks and purple panties. Her kick strikes true. Filian bounces up and down. She taunts you with a cocky grin. I told ya so, Chat. Smacker's eyes are glued to my... and they can't focus. She bounces up and down, faster, knowing Chad is enamored by her taunts, her booty jiggling furiously beneath her skirt. Now Smacker's defenseless against me. She dives towards your legs, sweeping you off the ground and onto the ring floor. Hiya! Smacker, taken off guard. I collapse underneath you, pinned by your body. I fluster red, embarrassed to be making physical contact with you, too distracted to try to wiggle myself free from your pin. Filian, straddled atop your stomach. She flashes Chat with a wink and a smug smile, as if celebrating her victory, her booty jiggling back and forth beneath her, enjoying the sensation of crushing you beneath her. Oh, Smacker! You're defeated? She giggles excitedly, her breath hitching and her chest heaving up and down atop your body. Chat, can you believe that Smacker let themselves fall for my tactics? Smacker. I'm not defeated yet, Phil. I still got fight in me. I try to art my stomach and then balance you. Filian. Oh, ho, ho. Smacker thinks they're going to unseat me? She giggles and wraps her legs around your waist, making it impossible for you to unbalance her. But Smacker forgets that Chat has the power. She grins at Chat excitedly. Now, Chat, should I spare the Smacker or keep dominating him? She teases Chat by bouncing atop your stomach, her ass knocking the breath out of you. Whew. Filian reads Chat. Keep dominating. She gives Chat a devilish smirk and bounces even harder atop your stomach to snuff out your endurance so that you won't resist her next move. Chat, here's your chance. Give me some suggestions of what he moves I should use on this smacker to continue dominating him. She bounces even harder atop your stomach until it's flattened beneath her. Filian reads Chat. Sit on his face, stuff him with your peach as he passes out. She grins knowingly. Oh, Chad, I love the idea. But how about I sit on his frick's balls? Not his face. She winks at Chat playfully. After all smackers are deserving of the pain that'll ensue. But they're lucky and should be grateful that I'm only taking out my grievance on one of them. She climbs off your stomach and positions herself atop your balls with your legs spread and tied to the ring floor, her booty jiggling back and forth as she stares excitedly between Chat and your reaction. Now, Smacker, are you ready for the punishment? She raises her butt in the air and slams down onto your balls, crushing them beneath her cheeks before raising her butt up and slamming it back down. Over and over again, making your balls flat as pancakes. Filian reads Chat. They were rooting for her. Smash, smash, smash. Crush, crush, crush. Flatten his into oblivion. She grins wickedly. Chat, I'm flattered by your support. She continues smashing her butt down onto your balls, causing you to wince in writhian pain. But her ADHD kicks in and she stands back up, towering above you with a smirk. Chat, I don't... The Spackers have learned their lesson yet. These fricks deserve more than just getting flattened by my booty. What else should I do to their representative? She eyes you with a coy demure and a menacing smirk. Chat suggests me something to completely dominate Smacker and put him out of his misery. Filian reads Chat. Make him kiss your peach, then suffocate him with your butt. She grins at Chat excitedly. Oh, yes, Chat! The Smackers will never dare call me flat again after this. She turns around, faces you, and backs her booty above your nose and mouth, flashing Chat and you, her purple panties. Your nose inhales her intoxicating sweet, and your eyes water, burning you from the pheromones. Chat, now your Smacker is completely under my control. What should I do with him? Filian reads Chat. Kappa. Why don't you grab your trampoline and get creative? She grins at Chat widely. Chat, trampoline, that's brilliant! She hops off your face and tiptoes to the other side of the ring to grab her favorite mini trampoline before you can regain your senses and comprehend what's going on She sets her trampoline down and starts bouncing on it. Filian begins a countdown. 3, 2, 1! Kapow! She yells as she takes flight, leaping high in the air off the trampoline, soaring like a butterfly above your head before arsing back down and smashing your butt atop your face. Filian. Smackers, it's game over, you fricks! She grins at Chat as she sprawls out on the ring floor, exhausted from her intense battle, but giddy at the thought that you will never forget the way she thrashed you, degraded you, dominated you, and emasculated you. Ah! Ah! The sound of one of Filian's alerts, 69 naked cowboys in the showers at Ram Ranch, is the last thing you hear as you succumb to your defeat at the hands of the unstoppable scullion that is Filian. The end. That was a great story. Were you at that time? Wow, 51 minutes. Yeah, there's not a lot of interesting things about this podcast, but you know what? I'm actually happy to make another full episode podcast. Oh boy. By the way, one more other thing, guys, before I end this episode. UFC 5. I'm still trying to get to UFC 5 as best I can because it's still hard for me to make something interesting for UFC 5 because I'm still trying to put some interesting this or that trying to go on here because the Royce Gracie and Ken Shamrock 36-minute fight is so utterly out of control for me. It's hard for me to read notes or even write notes down. There's so much stuff I'm not going to go through UFC 5, so I'm just going to try to make the episode and skip so much of the stuff that's just such a waste of time, but I might repeat it. Oh, just wish me luck, guys. It's just, you viewers, I'm just having a headache thinking about making this episode or even reviewing my notes. It's that bad. But please wish me luck. It's so hard. Please. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching this podcast. Another one in the books. Yes, whatever Daniel Dubois is going to do, I do want to see the fight with him and Usyk fight in July the 12th, but we're just going to have to see what happens. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching this podcast, and Foxwolf out.